this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
Howling holler from the heart.
This is pathetic.
Where we used to live. Why did you keep the mousetrap?
So whistle while you work.
Life could be worse.
This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time.
They're gonna do the Mary Poppins thing. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
It's such fun to hum a happy working song. Ooh, a happy working song.
Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
If you haven't subscribed to Lorraine yet and you're watching this, you suck.
Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, of course, bringing you that spice always when it comes to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And of course, this is a Spice Lounge where we keep it real, commenting on the latest going-ons in pop culture, including all the Hollywood shenanigans that go down. So we love clowning Hollywood. We love talking about the stuff that we love here as well. And I just have fun hanging out with my friends who are, regularly on the panel, and friends that drop in, like special guests that we have that I'll introduce in a moment. But what's going on tonight? Well, first of all, thank you for watching over there on X and also over there on YouTube. We're going to be talking how Rachel Zegler is the nuclear bomb that keeps going off when it comes to box office performances, and not going to bode well for Disney, especially when we refresh that downvote count on the trailer they've got over there. We are also going to be talking about how desperate is Disney now that Chris Evans is coming back to the MCU in Avengers Doomsday. It's just sad, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? Even sadder is all the cheese and wine and regret that James Mangold is now talking about with respect to how fans did not like Indy 5. Oh yeah. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to wind up the Wayback Machine to show you all where that started from. And of course, we have got hot topics, what you mean, including Hollywood dramas. That's the stuff we cover. Hey, CJ. Maybe I should call the show Drama Alert. I think that was taken. So I'm going to bring in my first guest. I love her so much. I've known her for about as long as I've been on YouTube. Every time I see her tweets, I remind myself that I need to read some more books. And that, of course, would be Teresa, a.k.a. Ms. Martin Muses. How are you, my dear?
Oh, hey, I'm doing really well. I love being on your channel and I love talking spice because I'll tell you what, these topics, they're extra spicy. It's like the fire spice or the hot sauce that you get at Taco Bell and you're like, no, I want it hotter.
Yes, it's just like bring the drama.
Yeah.
I think I said on the show last week that my one of my idols, especially when it comes to talk shows, is Wendy Williams. And she would kick off her show with like hot topics, aka she would have all the tabloid rags that she'd gone through and would throw stuff out. And it was some spicy stuff, and she did that like no other. So I kind of like to do that with respect to hot topics. So let's see. I'm so glad you're here. And for people who don't know you, Teresa, why don't you introduce yourself and let people know where they can find you?
Oh, well, I'm Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, sad, and what really ticks me off. So if you want to see topics on just about anything, I like to do what movies, fiction, fantasy, as Lynn was saying earlier, a lot of fantasy books and things that I've been covering, especially items with J.R.R. Tolkien. We've got a lot of those, a lot of the House of the Dragon and Fire and Blood, as well as traveling. So please maybe go ahead and have a look and give me a subscribe. I'd appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. And I've got a link to her channel in the description box of this live stream. So please do go and check her out. And yes, the spice must flow. He who controls the spice controls the universe. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, next up, we've got another one of my friends, and I'm really thinking about her a lot during the holidays because, man, hitting the Christmas markets in Frankfurt and Nuremberg, Germany. I've never been so broke and hungover at the same time in my life. How are you doing, Erica?
So broken, hungover. That's funny. Oh, Raph got sick and we couldn't go to more Christmas markets. So yeah, kind of threw a wrench into some plans.
Oh, well, hopefully you guys can get a chance to go back again and he gets a very speedy recovery because there is nothing like strolling the Christmas markets in Germany. Also, if you are in Pennsylvania, you go up you go up to Bethlehem. You go up to Bethlehem
Well,
to the
then
Christmas markets
maybe
up
we'll
there.
move to where Schlitterbahn is.
But yeah, it's so much fun going there and just shopping for Christmas ornaments, especially the hand-blown glass Christmas ornaments and roasted chestnuts and drinking something called glue wine, which Epcot has a good. I haven't tried this year yet, but usually it's pretty good dead on when it comes to glue wine.
Yeah, I love Glühwein so much. I was about to say I'm so jealous right now, especially when you're freezing. And I lived in Strasbourg for a while, and nothing like going around to those ancient cathedrals, and you're freezing cold, and you're looking at all the ornaments. Everything's all Christmassy and all Alsatian, and then oh, thank goodness there's Glühwein, and it's life-changing.
I'm addicted to the Kinder Punch right now. I didn't realize how good that stuff was. The only problem is they don't give you the cool, Glühwein glasses in those. They give you the kiddie ones. So I'm like, dang it, I gotta get the alcohol stuff to get the cool Glühwein glasses.
Oh,
little kids crying, saying Kinder Punch. I'm like, what the heck is that? They're like, oh, that's the glue wine, but without the alcohol to give the little kids. So yeah, so they do that. And yeah, it was so cold in Nuremberg. That was wind like I had never run into in my life. And I literally had to get one of those heavy like woolen scarves, but I had my head wrapped up like you see those Eastern European women do. I'm like, okay, now I freaking get it. Now I get why you do that, And I came home, my mom's like, oh, you're doing that now. You never used to do that. I said, oh my God, it was so cold over there. But then went to this one place to eat, and my friends did it on purpose out of the fact that I was American. So they bring me over this drink. It's like in a glass this little, and it looks golden and smells like cinnamon and cloves. And all I know is I drank that and my insides were on fire in a good way. I was like, whoo, is it hot here? This stuff is really good. And why am I seeing triple right now? But it was all good, all good, all good. Speaking of all good, I am glad to have back viewers with you, the gender-free news. How you doing, my dear?
First and foremost, thanks for having me back. And secondly, glue wine. And
yes.
And third, I did have a bit of a name change. I'm no longer Views with Hughes Jennifer News. I'm now Views with Hughes Culture and News.
Ooh, culture news. All right.
Yes,
like
so I've been
it.
doing a rebranding and everything. It's going to take a while for me to go ahead and get that, trickling back up and stuff, and for the algorithm going to catch back on and stuff. But yeah, all this German stuff that y'all talking about, I'm oblivious to this and stuff, and yeah, I'm just that
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, glue wine is just basically wine that's been simmered in spices like cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and served warm. You can actually make it in an alcohol-free version, but that's what it is. It's warm wine with spices that taste really, really, really good. And depending on how much alcohol is in it, you can spend way more than you intended if you drink it. But for the kids, for Kinderpunsch, it's made with like grape juice. Yes. So it's for the kids at the Christmas markets in Germany. So at the kids, they have the glue wine for the adults, and then they have the Kinderpunsch for the little kids. So it's made from grape juice and those spices. So
I'll have the I had a Kinderpunsch, no Diddy. But yeah. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people saying hello to me in the chat. Hey, everybody, glad to be back. Glad to see you all again as well.
Absolutely. And we got one super chat here I want to get to, and then I'll say hello real quick, everyone. Run through the line. Kiss my grits. Hello, my dear. Thank you for that $9.99 super chat. I so do appreciate that. And every time we get a super chat, we got to hit you with something. So let's hit you with this one.
This is pathetic. Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's.
Elephant green screen effect.
Like that use. That will never get old. Never get old. My box office prediction for Snow White, 290 million global. I think it won't even get to 300 million because domestic will barely get 100 million. I am inclined to agree with you heartily on that. Read Christmas markets. Strasbourg and Vienna are on my travel bucket list. Yes, Vienna looks beautiful. Strasbourg, funny story. When I was in grade school and we were studying like other countries, we were studying Germany, and they talked about Strasbourg. I said, "You mean like the Strasbourg Railroad?" Because we have that in Pennsylvania. This is Strasbourg, Pennsylvania, and I'm just like, I'm confused. What the is going on? So. Yeah, I've seen pictures of Strasbourg as well. Just beautiful. Strasbourg, Alsace, all over there. It's eventually I'll get to the places that I want to visit one year. So we have got so many of you in here. Let me run through and say hello to everybody because the chat is as much of a part of the show as my panel is a part of the show. And we love seeing your comments. And hey, if it applies, we'll pop it up there on the screen. So let's see. We've got Snorter Poopus in the chat. Hello, my fellow polar bear from Pinellas County. Good to see you. Good to see you. We've got DJ Knight here in the chat. We have got Jacqueline over here in the chat. CJ, my thumbnail guy. I see you. I see you. Tom F is in the chat. Good to see you, my darling. Fallout Days says, hey, Reina Creole. And looking at your avatar reminds me that I have to install Fallout 3 on the gaming computer. Now that I have a rig that's big enough and not mini computer running at 50 degrees to 60 degrees Celsius, because I'm killing it with the games. So good to see you. Let's see. We have got Jennifer Hart in the chat. Says, evening, everyone. Well, evening to you. Peter Reeler saying, hey, Lorena fam. Because, yes, we are one big, huge, happy family over here. Happy warriors, to quote Andrew, the late Andrew Breitbart. His book changed my life. Have any of you ever read or listened to Righteous Indignation by Andrew Breitbart?
No.
I'm familiar with his work back when he was alive. I didn't know about that book. That sounds like a fantastic title.
It is a fantastic book, and it reassured me that I was not crazy. And I tell people this all the time. It's like, you cannot ignore the culture and expect it not to affect politics. And Andrew Breitbart, who grew up in SoCal, literally, he grew up there in Hollywood, and he said, politics is downstream from culture, and there's too many people. I mean, yes, I'm getting semi-political here. So at this time, Democrats understand that. The Republicans look down on that, and they do that at their own peril. So read his book, because he used to be a liberal and he saw what was going on in Hollywood. And he's just like, if you can't sell freedom and liberty, you suck. And that is exactly the terms that he used. So especially with what's going on now, go and get that book, Righteous Indignation. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it on audiobooks as well. I know I have a copy. I like the book so much, I got the Audible version as well, which is read by him. So especially since he's passed away, it's really, really, really good. Paula Bradley's fun. Hey, Ron says, here to support, but my energy fell off hard tonight. Sometimes that happens, dude. You just hit the wall. Sometimes you gotta step back. That was me. That was me Saturday. I was absolutely exhausted. It happens. Sometimes it happens. There's Peter. We've got Chef Nation. Good to see you, my darling. Good to see you. Tina Beebe is in the chat. Good to see you, my dear. We've got Bonzo Kilborn in the chat. I think I said hello, but I want to make sure. No, this isn't the Skeleton Crew watch party. I can't with that. I really can't. I mean, it looks okay, but it's not Star Wars, and I'm tired of them trying to make fetch happen. You can't make fetch happen with that. Okay. Let's see. But Rachel Zegler is the most beautiful Cinderella ever. Cough gag. Sonic 3's first opinions are out tomorrow. I have a sneaking suspicion that I have tickets to the fan premiere, and I need to check my theater app, because I think that was one that I definitely wanted to go and see. I loved 1 and 2.
Me too.
And cannot wait. See, 3 looks so darn good. I can't wait.
It looks darker than the first 2, though. That's what got me even more interested in it.
And Shadow's got a darn gun. It's got like a 9mm on him. As soon as he does the Akira slide on the bike, I'm like, dang, that's gangster.
I mean, they got the right person to play the voice of it, Keanu Reeves and stuff.
I'm waiting for somebody to yell out John Wick when I see that. Just like,
Yo,
wait till you find out.
He'll zoom right at you with a pencil. Better watch out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dylan, good to see you. Saying hey, Lorena. Hey, Teresa. CJ said, did Hughes lose weight?
I lost
Looks
a little
thinner.
I lost a little bit, but still got the ugliness. Sorry about that, everyone.
We love you. We love you. Hey, Shellback, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. We got Go and Shogi says, good evening, everybody. When I see Go and Shogi or a CJ, something in my mind's like, okay, what's on your baking list? What do you have? Because I have relatives coming for Christmas, so I have got like an epic shopping list that's going on. 6Z2. Who are you talking about? Talking about you. And welcome. Tim Bowman is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Erica here, of course, is here. Brogu is here. We're going to talk about that blind conservative woman because, again, Steven Spielberg keeps trying to make fetch happen with this chick, and it's not happening. All right. Read Rush's first book years ago. Yeah, actually, I did. To the dismay of my parents. Hey, Aldo, good to see you. Good to see you. And let's see. Thanatos Felicitas is here. Says, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right, folks. Well, let's get started kicking off the show. Of course, we start with hot topics, but I figured I'd let you guys laugh for a little bit. One of my favorite movies is White Chicks. And apparently the Vikings recreated.
Key player for this Vikings defense. Takeaway. And Cousins' interception problems continue here.
Move for move.
Now the old announcer's jinx. Key player.
I freaking love that. I love that. White Chicks was one of my absolute favorite movies. We had a watch party for it about 2 weeks ago.
It was all right.
That.
It was all right.
I loved it. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies, one of my sister's favorite movies. We just have fun watching this. And that dance, although watching Terry Crews dance was even funnier than this. So interesting. Very interesting. And funny. I love college football. The NFL, they're pretty much the no fun league, but love it when people do stuff like this. Absolutely. All right. So now that kind of dropped and people are like, huh? Let's get to our first part of news. Henry Cavill says Warhammer 40,000 TV series is in a fantastic starting place. We've been breaking down approaches through the enormity of that world. How many of you are Warhammer 40K fans, and how many of you were aware of what Henry Cavill was working on?
I've been aware of this for a while now, ever since I first announced it and stuff. And then when they rumors saying that, he wasn't beyond it because they decided to go and keep it a woke route, because this is Amazon Studios. We're talking about there's no surprise and stuff. But I mean, let's just keep it a bean right quick. Yes. Henry Cavill is taking the helm of, Warhammer 40K series. I mean, I appreciate his commitment to the lore itself. I never played the games, but I paid attention to the lore. But I'm not holding my breath for Amazon Studios to keep their hands clean, if you know what I mean. Now, Henry Cavill might have the heart in the right place, but Amazon has a track record of twisting good stories into platforms for their woke agendas. Even though Jeff Bezos says with his newspaper company and stuff that he's going to be, less politically biased and stuff, I don't believe that. But if it does mean that, I mean, it's because of the fact that his back is up against the wall. But look at what they did with Rings of Power, as you all know. That was a disaster, and that brought me for like 3 more seasons and stuff, straying far from Tolkien's vision to fit some sort of modern woke narrative. Now with Warhammer, on the other hand, it's all about, the brutal reality of, a far future humanity fighting for survival, not some sanitized diversity checklist, but can Amazon actually resist their urge to inject their usual progressive spin? I doubt it. They'll probably just try to sneak in some unnecessary character changes to rewrite history to fit today's political climate, which would be a huge disservice to what Warhammer 40K stands for. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me on this though, but I'm actually cautiously optimistic because of Cavill, but I've seen too many beloved franchises get the woke treatment to fully trust Amazon. And you know what? Here's hoping Cavill has the clout to keep the grim darkness of the 41st millennium intact, free from the woke nonsense that's plagued so many adaptations. But until I see it, I'm going to go ahead and remain skeptical.
Yeah.
Erica?
Oh, I think he said it all. There's not much to add to that.
I seriously doubt I said it all, but okay.
Well, Teresa, let me ask you this. What was Amazon's involvement in Wheel of Time? Were they just the distributors, or did they have their hands in the scripts at all?
I don't know any details about that. I mean, of course, Amazon are the people that were hosting it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the Wheel of Time was just an absolute disgrace. Now, I'm still reading through the books, and I can just tell right away that everything is just off with it, and everyone is just so upset, everyone that loves the Wheel of Time, because they just have it and they didn't make any adaptation straight from the book. They just made up things. Now, in the case of the Rings of Power, of course, we all know that they didn't have the rights to the story and they just made up their own story. But what's so ridiculous about Wheel of Time is they actually had the rights to adapt the story and they chose not to. So that is something to be very suspicious of, because they're the ones that will hire it, they're the ones that will be overseeing all of these things. But as far as Henry Cavill goes, I mean, I think that The Witcher has got to be haunting them as they're going through that, because Henry Cavill has shown he will leave. Like, if you mess it up, if you do what you do to the story, he has no problems walking away. He's Henry friggin' Cavill. So I think that more than anything might keep them honest on this Warhammer, because they do not want to lose Henry Cavill.
Very, very well said. Very well said. So apparently, Henry Cavill has offered an update on his Warhammer 40K TV show, saying the project is in a fantastic place to start our universe. So apparently, he's executive producing this. And, it's a tabletop game, because I didn't know that. I just started hearing about Warhammer 40K, I want to say last year or so. But
I thought it was a video game only.
Which one?
I thought it was a video game only.
I had no idea what it was like at all. And then people started recommending Warhammer 40K. I'm like, I don't have time to get into another one, so I'll have to trust you guys that it's good. But apparently, let's see, they've got the global rights to the IP from Games Workshop. And let's see, Tina BB has a comment here, and that is something that I was thinking about as well, because when I look at Amazon, if Amazon is only distributing and they do not have their hands in it, aka Reacher, the Atom Project, because that's all produced by Skydance, and they're only using Amazon as their distributor. Those went off very well. The Terminal List, that's the one that Chris Pratt was in. I think that's also Skydance. he has control over that, and Amazon just distributes it. So those are, well, in some anime as well. Those are examples of the only thing that Amazon is doing is just turning on the switch so it can get streamed. But of course, as you know, Bracelets of Power, which was freaking horrible. Wheel of Time, I did not watch, but I heard from people like Teresa how bad it was because Amazon just completely screwed it up. So here, what he's saying is that apparently the reason why Henry Cavill said something about this today is that there's a December 2024 deadline for both companies to agree on creative guidelines for the franchise, for it otherwise would have been scrapped. Now, Tina BB's comment here. Now, I heard another YouTuber say that Cavill will have such control Amazon can't fight him. I wasn't sure I believed that. This is the crux of it right here. Whatever creative guidelines those are that both parties have agreed to, that is a binding contract. So if they don't stick with it, somebody's getting sued. Because this is a multi-year deal with the films and all of that. And I think this is very smart. And I also think that given the crap show that The Witcher was, that's probably why they put this in here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish they did the same thing with Rings of Power. At least if the same thing happened with that, I would have went on ahead and watched it. But nah, Jeff Bezos used his money to buy that and stuff. And then it's about like rumors saying that they're gonna buy more of the rights to like, you know, the Tolkien story so they can keep making more stories about it. I mean, nah, I don't trust it, especially if it's under Jennifer Salke and stuff. Because I've only heard them mention Morgoth once in both seasons 1 and 2, and yet they didn't have squat to do with that. And don't get me started on that. Y'all know I'm a Tolkien fan.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not even like I'm a casual Tolkien normie. Like I love The Hobbit. I read The Hobbit. I love The Hobbit. Did not really like the Hobbit movie, but the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies, I freaking love those. They are a good time to just, to just watch. But with Rings of Power, that's a Jeff Bezos passion project, aka he's going to keep shoving money onto the fire to get that done. It's such a vanity project. That's pretty much what the deal is, and why it's such ass, because there's so much money being dumped into there that there isn't a finite money supply, like with HBO over there doing, House of the Dragon and all of that. So I don't even know anything really about Warhammer 40K, but I like Henry Cavill. And hey Amanda, good to see you. And not only do I just love Henry Cavill, I love the fact that he's a straight up geek when it comes to this stuff. And I've seen panels he's been on where people will try to, like, say, demonize gamers or geeks or stuff like that. And Cavill will not back down. He's like, no, they're very passionate. And I believe that we need to listen to the fans. And I forget which show there was, or what panel he was on. I think there was somewhere in the UK where I guess the person facilitating the panel, she was really poo-pooing the fact that he was in the Warhammer, and I think someone else on the panel also was another actor was in. And you know how when geeks get together and start talking, they just like go off on a tangent. Yeah, let's just say the facilitator, who was a woman, really looked down on them because of that. And it's just like, seriously, chick. But anyway, I'm hoping that this turns out to be good. Props to Henry Cavill for getting that those creative guidelines that both companies have to agree to. And we'll see what's going on with that when it happens. So I'm not even gonna lie, I'm just watching it to just see Henry Cavill. That's I'm honest with that. I just want to see it for Henry Cavill, for the same reason that the only reason I'm going to go see the Minecraft movie live action, it's because Jason Momoa is in it. I could care less about anybody else. Next, hot topic. Do you guys remember James Mangold?
Oh,
How could we forget?
you mean the liar?
Yes, that's exactly the liar who when he got busted, went off on people and basically called fans everything but a child of God. I mean, I'll share this post from John A. Douglas, who follows me. Very, very cool. I need to follow you back, my dear, because I'm using this. And this is his words, not mine, but I do believe it aptly summarizes what happened with this dude. This crime mangina threw the first punch. He attacked fans who complained when rumors about the film's plot got circulated. I was one of those fans because I could not freaking believe what they were doing to this dude. They were basically giving Harrison Ford's character, Indiana Jones, the Picard season 1 treatment. Is basically what they were doing. He put a sour taste in everyone's mouth before this POS even came out, which is true. He blocked me on my other account for pointing out that no one had any reason to have faith in Hollywood for this. Don't believe me? Just scroll his Twitter feed. His fan hate and tweets are still there. And we were right. A lot of the plot leaks turned out to be true, and this movie sucked ass through a garden hose, and that is putting it mildly. This ass man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Juice.
I was about to say, how about through a straw?
Oh, that's even more. Through a paper straw. How about that? Make it even more. Make it more painful.
These are images and feelings I don't want to have tonight. But I would still prefer to do that than watch this movie.
This movie was a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. As much as I poo-poo Crystal Skull, I refused to watch it. After I had the misfortune of watching this darn movie, I went back and I watched Crystal Skull. And I'm like, you know what? It had its faults, but at the end, it was pretty good. Marion and Indy got back together. Mutt got to see his parents, get married. And granted, we didn't need it because Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade wrapped things up perfectly. It was okay compared to this hot mess, which had Marion and Indy divorced. Indy is just like, I don't know, beaten down alcoholic that killed off Mutt. I mean, and then bring in Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who acts like she knows everything. I'm just like, no. Yet again,
they killed off Mutt?
Yes. He died in the war, and supposedly because he couldn't handle it, that's why he and Marion got divorced. Hughes, I kid you not.
Oh my! Y'all know I didn't see this movie. Didn't want to see it. Had no interest of it. But yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, Mangold, they continue.
The whole thing. So yeah. This ass mad clown treated fans like garbage. Yes, he did. Garbage. He did. Go look on X. And when the movie came out, they didn't forget and they gave back every ounce of vitriol he gave them. Because when you are asking and demanding that people shell out their hard-earned money, if your product is crap, you need to sit back and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you kept telling people that there was liars and stuff and saying that's not true. Next thing you know, kind of find out it was true.
100% true. So according to Cosmic Book News over here on X, and they're taking an excerpt from what's in the Deadline article. I really wish y'all would just post a link to Deadline. You said, what else is new? It's the fans' fault. Indiana Jones bombed. We've heard this before, right? You have a wonderful, brilliant actor. This is James Mangold now, who's in his 80s. Also, I think Mangold has a movie coming out, which is probably why he's opening his mouth now. So I'm making a movie about a guy in his 80s, but his audience on another level doesn't want to confront their hero at that age.
No.
No.
We would
Go
love
ahead,
to
Teresa.
see him at any age. If he was in a wheelchair, wheeling around, reading books and saying like, hey, remember that time we had Raiders of the Lost Ark? I don't know. It's freaking Indiana Jones. We would love him. We would love him if he had gangrene. All right. It's if you write him well. It's how they wrote him, which was the problem. It wasn't his age that was the problem.
At all. Not at all. You know what I think though? I think that he's putting this all out there and stuff, not only because he has a new movie coming out, but he may have a future project with Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy for a Star Wars movie. He's trying to stay in her good graces.
Well,
and yes, Tina, I remember this when he lied on John Williams. Suggested Williams might be delusional for thinking there were reshoots when there were definitely reshoots. Yeah, I remember that.
You do not disrespect John Williams. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I missed that. I remember him lying, but I didn't realize he said that about John friggin' Williams, who's going to be remembered for hundreds of years. Not you, Mangold.
Not at all.
I ain't even like what he did with Logan.
And I have not. I have not watched Logan. I can't watch Logan. I can't for so many reasons. You do not You do not disrespect John Williams ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
He is the man.
He is the freaking GOAT. And the fact that you couldn't cop to what actually happened. Ugh, man, I tell you,
or he could have just shut. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
He could have just shut his mouth. Like that is an option. Like even if you're hearing rumors, even if you know things are leaked, be a gentleman and just shut up. Don't even acknowledge that it's happening. I don't understand why they feel like they have to just come out and set the record straight. It's like, no, all you have to do is say, hey, I have a movie coming out. Hope you like it. And STFU.
And you know what? That's what directors used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't insult their audience. They were just like, you know what? We put this out there. Hope you go check it out and see it. Hope you like it. If not, well, you know, thank you for going to see it. You know, anyway. But
at least the good directors, they wouldn't do.
Yeah.
The good directors won't say squat.
Nope. They'll just put it out there and let it happen. Like, for example, the director for Twisters, he didn't really say much except for, you know, how he enjoyed, you know, directing and putting this film together and making this film that was a successor to, you know, the original Twister written by John. Was it John Crichton? I think it was. No, it's Michael Crichton, I believe. And the Hollywood trades were like, how come there isn't stuff about climate change in it? And and that's how I knew that film was good. He's just like, I want to focus on the very human story because it's not about climate change. It's about being able to save lives and how people come together in a tragedy. And that was so darn refreshing. I had no plans to see Twister, but went to go see Twister because of that. And so exactly what it was. It was such a fun movie. It's on streaming on Peacock. You got to watch it. That movie is just America. Fireworks in a tornado. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But let's see. But the question is, how would anything have made the audience happy with that other than having to start over again with a new guy? And then here come lifelong heroes from my childhood and my life going, we have something for you to work on. It was a joyous experience, but it hurt. I have to say it like Big Pumbaa baby. In The Lion King. And it hurt. Oh. sense that I really love Harrison and I wanted audiences to love him as he was and to accept that that's the part of what the movie has to say, that things come to an end. That's part of life. Well, that happened in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Okay. And we loved Harrison for the character that he portrayed throughout the years. And to tag on to what Teresa said earlier, we would have been happy to see him in a wheelchair, you know, his eyesight going, but his wit still sharp as I don't know what. I would have loved it if he was, you know, with some of his archaeology students that he taught over the years, and seeing, you know, how some of them may have taken some of Indy's instruction a little too literal, but to see him as the most interesting man in the world, which is like with Picard, I thought we were going to get to see the most interesting man in Starfleet, where he recounts, yeah, I could have done that a little bit better, or, you know, yeah, I got stabbed in the heart, and yeah, I still would have done that all, you know, all over again. That's like the stuff that we wanted to see. The fans respect the character, and the fans respect the actor. But you, James Mangold, definitely do not respect the actor, and you sure as hell do not respect us. Unless you got a movie coming out, now you need us to, you know, come and see it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, someone said in the comments on this thread, if they had had Indiana Jones with maybe Short Round coming back, that would have been amazing.
Yes!
We've all been saying that for the longest time, and even before that movie came out.
We sure did. And isn't it interesting that we talk about that, and what's it? Ki Hui Kwan? I probably said that wrong, but he won an Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And if you see that movie, because it's freaking awesome, and you see his performance in that film, he totally would have been the best successor.
I want to see his new movie coming is in this February called Love Hurts. I think that's the movie. Love Hurts.
I think so. Yeah, he's got something coming up. I was so happy for him when he won that Oscar. He was truly, truly amazing. Yes, Indy could have played into the Sean Connery type character, grew into his father. Yeah, but that's what the fans would have wanted. But as you know, all of us can attest, Lucasfilm really doesn't care what the fans want. Just consume product. Shut up and consume more product.
And it's interesting. We've seen less and less of Kathleen Kennedy lately. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep her like, go sit in the corner. No, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Just go back in the corner. Speaking of weird ass stuff, yet again, and this is coming from Screen Rant, it's all about rock and roll. Greta Gerwig's Chronicles of Narnia movie gets confounding tease from producer. How many of y'all have ever read the Chronicles of Narnia books or watched the movies?
I haven't.
I've read every single one of them.
And my mom read us the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And we read it in school too. But I never read all the books. Just I guess it was the first book. Is that it?
Yeah, I read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I read Prince Caspian. So I read those two. I didn't keep reading because I was like, you know what? I think I've had enough. But I loved reading those books, and I loved the first the animated movie of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
It was just it's one of those OGs like the Hobbit movie that I have to watch, and the Last Unicorn, like that level. But I'm like, what the heck kind of comment is this? Now, with the Chronicles of Narnia, there is an unabashed Christian perspective that's weaved into those novels. So the fact that, yes, thank you. C.S. Lewis was a devout Christian. Yes, he was. So to say something like this is, again, it's confounding.
Yeah.
But
I
par for the course with Hollywood.
I find it very interesting that even they're saying it's confounding because it's not just Christian things woven into it. Unlike the Lord of the Rings, where it's a part of the work, it's woven into the themes and everything. In the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and C.S. Lewis's works, it is allegorical. It is a one-to-one allegory of Jesus Christ in it. Yeah, like Aslan is the
Aslan.
lion.
Yes.
Aslan, yeah. They go to Calvary, and not to give everything away, but it all ends with basically the book of Revelation. So this is one-to-one pure allegory. Sometimes people even say even too much. But hey, if that's the work that C.S. Lewis wanted to write, that's the work that C.S. Lewis wants to write. So to try to make it in any way rock and roll or updated or do any weird stuff, anything quote unquote with feminism, like we're already worried that they're going to do stuff with Susan, the character, for example, that it is not only not just going to be antithetical to the original works of C.S. Lewis, but it's going to be asinine.
You know, one of the things that that I remember that blew my mind, I think I was in Sunday school. I think it was in Sunday school. And they were talking about how when Christ died on the cross, that in the temple, that veil was ripped from top to bottom, which was damn near impossible to do. And in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, after Aslan's death, that like table like cracks. And he's like, that's, you know, analogous to what happened in the temple. I'm like, what? Really? I didn't even think about that, you know. So that's so profound to me. And yeah, and you're absolutely right. All 7 books tell the story of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. So to make this comment, then again, it is coming from Amy Pascal from over there. I guess she used to work for Sony. Apparently famous for when Sony got hacked, her emails got hacked. Where apparently she was saying some pretty racist things about the choices that Barack Obama had in movies. That. Yeah, so that happened. But I like to play people in their own words with what's going on. So this is an interview that she did over here on Deadline. Fair use, YouTube. Just saying.
I'm working with Netflix on a couple of movies that I'm really excited about, and they're great, and you know they're wonderful.
You're working on with Greta Gerwig.
With Greta Gerwig on Narnia.
Yeah.
Just to remember, Greta Gerwig, she did Little Women, which was ass. She worked on Barbie, which went off the rails in the 3rd act. And as someone who was a Barbie fan, I was not pleased about the bait and switch, but that was just me.
And then I just made a movie with Noah Baumbach called Jay Kelly that we made for Netflix also.
Right.
It's a great movie starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler.
Wow. And that's done?
It's done.
Wow. So
that comes out next year.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
And
No,
how,
won't.
you know, has she been shooting that already?
No, we start shooting in July.
I didn't think so. Yeah, because I talked to her. She got on a big award or something, and she was
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
it. But that's a new take on Narnia, or
a very new take on Narnia. It's all about rock and roll.
Wow. Okay.
Even dude looks confused, like, huh?
A very new take.
You guys remember the Jesus rock and roll movie? Was it a movie or a musical? It was.
Jesus Superstar.
Yeah, that. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're gonna do that to Narnia? Be like,
oh no.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even think they would even be that classy.
No. I think she thinks she's being she's being clever and that she's being, how do I want to say this? Like, I'll shock everyone. I'll say it's going to be like rock and roll. Because it's like, girl, she's living back in the 60s where she thought she was being rebellious because she wore a skirt too short. It's like, listen, lady, we've already been through all of that and we're over the rebellion. Whatever daddy issues you have, don't bring it into C.S. Lewis. Thank you very much.
Who is we?
Yes.
I don't wear skirts.
I guess she missed the memo that it's a Christian-based story, or she knows it and just wants to rebel against it.
Yeah.
Which one do y'all think it is?
No, I agree. And I do have a concern for this. And here's my concern. As you all know, we all know this, that Hollywood's got this nasty habit of pandering to the woke crowd, turning every story into like a soapbox for whatever social issue is trending on the social media, where they strip away the Christian essence, the very heart of Narnia, just to push some, modern day woke agenda. Now, it's not just about telling a good story anymore. It's about making sure that everyone everywhere feels represented, or whatever the latest buzzword is, okay? And that's nothing new. And then there's also this woman right here, Pascal. See, Pascal is no stranger to controversy, especially with how she's handled other projects. And you've got to wonder if she's the right person to safeguard the integrity of Narnia. Y'all know the answer to that, of course. But I mean, are we going to see Aslan turn into some kind of ambiguous symbol for diversity rather than the clear Christ figure that he was meant to be? Now, it's best that we go ahead and keep an eye on this. And Narnia is not just another, franchise to just go ahead and milk for cash for woke points. Try that. And it's all about an epic battle between good and evil with a clear moral lines, not some gray, ambiguous mess where right up and wrong were for debate. But I say let's hope they keep close to Lewis's vision, or better yet, let someone with true understanding of the source material take the reins on this itself. But you know what? That's basically my 2 cents right there on the matter. But we'll see how this pans out. I'm doubtful, but I'm not holding my breath for Hollywood to go ahead and get it right without turning into something that was never meant to be.
Yeah, go. Sorry, go ahead.
I have a feeling they're going to make this into a very distorted version of Christianity, this ideology that Christianity is very inclusive, and Jesus, was very inclusive, and he loves everyone. And it's like, no, kind of doesn't work that way. Yes, he loves everyone, but it's not. But the thing is not everybody loves him.
Exactly.
No, and it's like, remember,
they tend to leave that part out.
Yeah, they tend to. They forget that. They forget how he called the Pharisees out of their name, and even how he got whipped and rolled into the temple and turned those tables over and money changers out. Why? Because they were running the worst extortion racket against the poor, and he basically said, "My father's house to be a house of prayer."
These people honor me with these people. They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me.
Yes, that is exactly it. And I think that this film, they're going to make a mockery of Christianity, considering that this is the same woman who did Barbie. No, it is going. If it was Angel Studios that was doing this, but that ain't happening.
That's an interesting thought. Let's think about that one for a second. You think Daily Wire or even Angel Studios might come in and be like, I think we're going to put that out, but the right version of it. You think it's possible?
Like they cut a trailer like they did with Brett Cooper for Snow White.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I'd freaking love that. I would love that. Maybe
put it in theaters. That do like Sound of Freedom, word of mouth. I mean, I'm assuming the C.S. Lewis, his right, is it all like public domain and anybody can just grab his stories? And how?
Yeah,
So
I
they
don't
have
think
it's like
his son, his stepson, is still alive, and he holds it all, and
okay.
and no,
So
it's not public domain, so you just can't do it. So
he's allowing someone like this to do this project? Is he a Christian himself?
Well, I don't know too much about him, but understand he's like 1,000 years old, and I don't know how much involvement he really has with it or with his estate and stuff, because he's, elderly. But either way, again, I don't want to take any judgment on him because, like I said, he's a very elderly man. He was also involved in the other movies and seemed to like it a lot. You just look at what the other movies did, even though it wasn't done by an overtly Christian man, they did a huge outreach to Christians. I remember that because I was invited to one of their little propaganda things. When I say propaganda, like where they invited Christians, it's like, let's talk with you about the movie we're making about Narnia. This was back in 2004, and compare it to this, where it just seems like they're very much holding their cards to their chest. There's going to be rock and roll. We know that they hired a very radical feminist to make it. And so we know what's coming because it's happened 1,000 times. We couldn't even have the Olympics without them doing something blasphemous against the Last Supper. So they like to take our symbols and do a humiliation ritual for us and let us see it stomped on right in front of our eyes. And so, of course, they're going to try to do this, but there might be people that might be a little bit naive, maybe going into it. It's like, oh, C.S. Lewis, I'm going to watch it. And then they're going to be very surprised. I don't think that it will be a success if they go this route.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. It'll, once it comes out, I think it's going to have the same word of mouth effect where people are like, no, this is not the C.S. Lewis that I mean, Barbie, that was like a marketing thing, which they did their job to get people into the theater, and they catered to their audience with where they went with that, except for me, because I'm not a radical freaking feminist. And others like me. But yeah, to move on to yet more harbingers of destruction, coming to us from the Wrap, Chris Evans sets Marvel return in Avengers Doomsday, and this is an exclusive to the Wrap. The actor most recently appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine as his Fantastic Four character, Johnny Storm. What do you all think when you hear that not only is Robert Downey Jr. coming back for the new Avengers movies, even though he's going to be Victor Von Doom, which I don't freaking believe one way or the other that he can pull that off. But now they're bringing in Chris Evans. They're bringing back Captain America.
Say that again.
They're bringing back Chris Evans to the MCU, because the Russo brothers, they're doing the next two Avengers movies, Avengers Doomsday, and I'm forgetting what the next one, Secret War.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. already got announced to be in that film. They revealed him at San Diego Comic-Con, so he's going to be in it. Now they're bringing in Chris Evans as well, aka Captain America.
I actually said that, I was actually joking around that this was going to happen. I didn't. It's like I can't really call it a prediction, but I thought about this happening, and unfortunately, it came true. But look, I get that, Chris Evans coming back as Captain America, or if he is coming back as Captain America, might get some people excited. But let's be honest. People already said goodbye to Steve Rogers in a way that felt right. Okay, these days as in that ending in the end game to people was perfect. He handed off the shield and his story was complete. Now bringing him back now feels like they're just trying to go and cash in on nostalgia instead of just respecting the story, or they could be furthering this whole multiverse thing. Okay. And while we're on the subject of the Shield and everything, I gotta say, I'm still not sold on Sam Wilson as new Captain America. Yes, in the comics, he was Captain America, but those didn't really work out. It's just Kevin Feige doesn't want people to know that. But Steve Rogers was Captain America. Plain and simple, he embodied what that character stood for, and it's hard to see someone else stepping into those shoes, especially when Bucky was right there as a natural pick. Now, it's not about Falcon being a bad character at all. He's great in his own way, but not everyone has to carry the mantle. Now, some characters stand better on on their own. All right, and at the end of the day, you know what? Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige need to focus on telling good stories, not just shuffling, characters around or just basically, trying to check boxes. If they keep playing these games with the characters and the fans, they're going to lose the heart of what made the people love these particular movies that they've made in the first place. And basically it seems like another cash grab and stuff where they're bringing back Chris Evans and stuff. I mean, what's next? Bringing back Scarlett Johansson and everything. I mean, we know that Mark Ruffalo, he's going to be returning and stuff. I just wish Edward Norton was still playing on Hulk instead of Mark Ruffalo, but it seems to me that Mark Ruffalo is easier to control and stuff since he also has a political narrative down his sleeves and stuff. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, your mic's a little low.
Oh, me?
It's not you. I think StreamYard's has been really wonky with their audio all day.
I put my other earbud in so I could hear you better.
Ah, shucks. This sucks.
See, and now went up. Yeah, freaking StreamYard. Y'all need to give me a darn refund. But it's like he could come back as, I don't know if he'll come back as like old man Steve Rogers. I don't know if he'll come back as Johnny Storm or whatever. But the problem again is that the MCU is so fractured that even normies have tuned out. The last couple of Marvel movies have not done well. The only Marvel movie that's done well recently, and we'll call that Marvel adjacent because that's from Fox, would be Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
And that's a one-off. But the MCU movies have just been absolute garbage of late. And it looks like they're just trying to throw everything against the wall to see if it sticks. Captain America, Brave New World, no. That poster where they show, all those reshoots. And I'm looking at the poster where they've got, Black Captain America with the shield, which he can't throw because he throws it like a freaking girl. And then you see Red Hulk's fist slamming into the shield. There's no freaking way. He doesn't have the super serum. I'm sorry. This is the lore that you folks have built. And I'm just like, you're going completely against that. Why the heck do I want to freaking see this movie?
Reina, you just made me get a thought into my mind when you said that. If throws like a girl and everything, got him say, "What's up, bro?"
Just take this American pride here. Take it now, Daddy.
I wish I could have heard all that. You kept cutting in and out. It sounded so funny.
Like a girl.
Just take it, Daddy.
He throws it like a freaking girl. I'm like, how the heck can you? First of all, the fact that he couldn't throw the shield, Bucky should have been able to get that instead. That's what I thought was going to happen. That is just like, look, Steve, his heart was in the right place, but dude, it's not working, and you're the one who needs to have that. But
he didn't have the special juice in him. That's the difference.
Nope, he didn't have the special juice, and it's just not going to work. So by the time that movie comes out and bombs, on Impact, which I know that it will, it's pretty obvious that Marvel is scrambling. They're complete. Oh, wait, the Thunderbolts is coming out, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm embarrassed. My brain actually remembered that movie was coming out. So that's the next one, which who knows what the heck that's gonna do. But overall, the MCU is damaged. Yes, Hughes, Thunderbolts. Yes, the MCU version of the Suicide Squad. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They're putting
Oh
it
my
out in the summer.
god.
I can't. But I will go see Captain America: Brave New World because one, the loyalty points I get are obscene, so I'll have my free snacks.
Yay!
Guys,
J-
can you guys
j- j-
explain something to me?
just go ahead.
Unlike the Captain America thing, I just want to make sure I'm not seeing or hearing things, but is there an old white man version and then a young black man version of the same character? Or
No, it would
like,
because
I'm
did
confused.
you see Endgame?
No,
Okay. Oh,
I don't really
okay.
keep up
Well,
with Marvel because to me the whole thing's convoluted, and then this whole Captain America thing, I'm like, well,
it
now I'm
is.
just
You know what?
even more
You know
confused
what?
than I ever was before.
You're as confused as I was when I was sitting in Endgame and Steve Rogers shows up, old man Steve Rogers, and instead of giving the shield to Bucky, he gives it to Falcon. I'm like, what the heck freaking sense does that make? So the old white man gives the shield to the black dude instead of the white guy who's been his best friend since forever when they
I'm
grew up in
well,
New York City. But that's all part of the whole mantle strategy that they had going on that Victoria Alonso was pushing.
yeah, and crazy part about it, they think they're doing something special for African Americans out there. When in reality, if you think about it, they're just giving us breadcrumbs. Just throwing us a bone and everything. Instead of giving us original black characters and stuff, they just go ahead and
Yeah.
make a race swap and stuff. And just remember the difference between Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson.
Oh no.
Do you remember Men on Film? Do you guys remember in Zoolander?
Oh gosh,
mine. They're dumping, the coal out, and he's just like,
oh, and then they stare at each other down.
oh god, this is awful. I mean, Falcon. I thought we were going to find out more about Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I wanted to know more about that character who's apparently badass in the comics. But instead, they decide that they want to, make Black Captain America. So in the new Black Captain America: Brave New World, you got Black Captain America, and then you have Brown Falcon now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah. So they did that, but y'all grasping at straws, y'all, and they're not going to get the normies back right away. I did who plus you. Oh shoot, I forgot. Then there's the Fantastic Four movie, which may actually do somewhat okay. I'm sick and tired of seeing Pedro Pascal every place. I will.
Oh yeah.
I will say that. But we haven't had a half decent Fantastic Four movie, and I don't know how long. So we'll have to say.
He needs to keep his helmet on and shut up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, Men on Film. I was gonna say that, and then I thought about Zoolander instead.
Ron Shogi's telling me that I need to go ahead and dub that over in the trailer and stuff. Maybe I should do it on my channel.
I think you should. Well, my dear, I know you have got to go, Hugh. So thank you so much for being here. I have so missed you, my friend. Please let the people know where they can find you and what you have got coming up.
Oh, y'all can find me on 2 different places here on YouTube. Y'all can find me on Views with Hughes Culture News, and also I started a political channel called what just simply Views with Hughes. So yeah, I'm doing a bit of rebranding and everything, going ahead to see how far this is going to take me, how fast it's going to take me, and also just remember one thing.
Just take this vibranium, daddy. Just.
I'm never gonna get that out of my head.
Lorena, you just started with me. I can't even get that out of my head. Of that picture in my mind. Oh, she's this right because she's. If you think about it, even with the Falcon Winter Soldier and stuff, where he threw that tree, just sound like Meek Mill from a certain tape. Just. Just take this bad guy like what's going on? Just shut up. Just
It is one of the most unmasculine things I've ever seen. Oh man.
Let me stop it. Go.
Gee. Well, it's just so pathetic. They ruined their goodwill. I'm sorry, you're never going to get it back. And they just think all we have to do is bring him back, and then maybe people will come watch again. Because, like, remember you liked them in those other movies, and it's like, yes, we did. Yeah. And then you all said, oh, we're changing everything now. The whole MCU thing. So sorry, kids, you made your bed. You're going to lay in it and knock it off.
Yep.
Do we say make guys lay in it?
We're pretty much not paying attention unless you've got Deadpool and Wolverine 3 coming. I'm just saying.
Yeah, all right. All right, let me head out, y'all. Let me stop.
Hey, later, you. It's good seeing you, Monkey. Make sure you subscribe to Hughes. I've got his information in the description. All right. Well, continuing on with the crazy. First of all, thank you. 130 people watching between YouTube and X. So very grateful. Please make sure you hit that like button and make sure that you are subscribed to myself and, of course, all my amazing panelists here on the panel. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Let's see. Rachel Zegler star under scrutiny as her Y2K bombs at the box office. And this is coming to us from our friends over there at The Bleeding Fool, written by Chris Braley. I didn't even notice Heifer had a movie coming out.
I know.
Did you?
That's how much I don't care. I heard something vaguely about something called Y2K. I didn't know it was Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, same here. I heard the Y2K movie, but I didn't know what it was about. Title, I guess it's in the title, but I didn't know she was in it either.
Neither did I. I was just like, what movie? What movie? I knew she was doing a stage play or something like that, but I had no idea. But that's okay, because it only made $2.1 million. So Rachel Zegler's latest film, Y2K, has opened to a disappointing $2.1 million at the box office, raising questions about the actress's ability to draw audiences. The comedy horror film, which had a $15 million budget, landed in 8th place during its opening weekend. Let's see, that Red One movie, that bad Christmas movie with The Rock, that made $8 million, I think, over the past weekend. 2.1 million. And I'll say, in comparison, when Blumhouse drops a horror movie, that's usually, I want to say, maybe about 20 or 30 million to make, and they're pulling in like 150, 200, 300 million at the box office. They're clearing a nice, tidy profit. This sucker, 15 million, and all you can manage to pull in is $2.1 million.
Well, she's poison. She is box office poison, and it is very confounding to me. that she continues to star in movie after movie after movie. Every single movie she has been in has been a flop, but they keep putting her as the star, which is really insane.
It is, and I'm
Even
thinking,
make money?
oh, go ahead, my dear.
Is
Did it?
she even
No,
make money? Like, I
no.
mean, you would think even I don't know. No, I'm not even gonna say that because that's just stupid. Yeah, no. Uh, yeah,
This,
I got nothing. This
yeah,
broad
Yeah.
needs to shut
Flop
up.
after flop.
this
Here.
flop after flop after flop after flop. Let's see, there's West Side Story. And I said this last week, I think with West Side Story, Steven Spielberg decides to pick this this young lady who I guess was in a theater scene or whatever. I guess pretty much told Disney, guess what? You need to put her in your next film. She's the next it girl. Who's gonna say no to Steven Spielberg?
Well, that poor guy didn't know she had a mouth on her like this.
I know, and that's the
I
thing.
know.
It's just like the consequences of you just want to chase the most current thing. And I'm pretty sure there were more talented, self-aware actresses that were out there. But for whatever reason, she got chosen. And it's like Disney has been trying to make fetch happen with this effort for the longest time. And it's not catching on. I mean, what was it? Shazam! Fury of the Gods. She was awful in that. That bombed the Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, with the lowest grossing entry into that franchise. And now you got Y2K. It didn't make any money, and now Snow White is coming, and just to like refresh everyone's memory.
Oh
This
no.
is now at 718K downvotes. I forgot to downvote this sucker, but I'm gonna refresh this. That we played this game last time. When I refresh this, what do you think the downvote count is gonna be?
I don't know, 750,000.
Teresa?
775.
You gonna take the $1 this time again?
I'm gonna get $1.
Uh-oh.
$1. Let's see. It may not work for me this time. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? No, we don't want to hear it. We just want to see the downvotes. 722K downvotes.
Oh, we missed. Wow. This is going to be the biggest disaster in the planet, and I can't wait to see it because karma is such a beautiful circle.
It so is. I mean, I mainly want to see this for a Gal Gadot as the
Gal
evil
Gadot.
queen.
Yep.
She looks so good, and she literally is like the evil queen. I get like chills watching Gal Gadot as the evil queen. But man, this is it's Disney's own fault. It's Disney's own fault. They haven't reined this chick in. They've let her run rampant. She said stuff. She said things that were above and beyond anything that Gina Carano said. And yet Gina Carano is the one that gets fired.
Yeah. This is going to help her lawsuit because she's giving her more and more ammunition to prove that she was not treated equally to the other stars.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Aldo's journal, I feel bad for the poor gal that plays Evil Queen for having the stain of this project on her resume. You know how I think it's going to work out for Gal Gadot, and you ladies let me know what you think. I think this is going to wind up propelling Gal Gadot's star power even higher. Because she hasn't said a word. But you look at just her performance in this.
The fairest of them all.
She is. I'm just like, I think Gal Gadot is going to get out of this completely unscathed.
Yep.
And a lot of people are going to see, the people who are going to see this movie, either they got dragged to it, or, and how about this? This is probably the first Disney movie where I want the villain to actually win, and that's sad.
Yeah. I can't imagine
Yeah.
children going to see this. I don't
I
think it would
wouldn't take
appeal.
my granddaughters to go see it. For one, I think they'd be bored. I don't. The story just isn't compelling for a little to keep the interest of a little girl, like a 5 to 10-year-old.
No,
it's nothing like the cartoon.
Yeah,
and it's not I want to say, like, with the animation, like, there's a reason that animation is mainly made for kids, because they like the bright colors. It's something that they don't see in real life. Case in point, those darn minions, they're a freaking gold mine.
Oh yeah.
Kids will
They're
sit
hilarious.
and will watch
love
the
them.
minions do stuff, and it's even funnier that they will drop words in there, like in Spanish and I think in Japanese. So in between all that babble, the kids will hear something that they know, so they start laughing, and they love it. And the kids are just fascinated with it, because there's that element of wonder that kids want to see on the screen, and this is freaking nightmare fuel. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have nightmares from this. And look at these weirdos. Well, that's the other thing. Animation, they usually make like the eyes look a little bit bigger, because that's also what kids see. And here they've made the eyes smaller, so it's like this demon creature is looking into your soul to suck out your lifeblood. I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, what a nightmare.
It is a mess. I thought this movie had played out. Yes, that's the best comment. You know,
So many comments on that thread.
I'd jump out the airplane.
God.
Yeah, I'd still walk out. I wonder how. That's probably it. Where's that comment? It's down here somewhere, which is really, really freaking funny.
Yeah. Well, it serves you right for listening to Peter Dinklage, Disney.
Oh my gosh, yes. And he is persona non grata, most likely by now. Well, earlier than now in the little people community, because that's a niche. I want to say a niche actor, like the little, like the little people. And there's like a short list of, that's a very small and specialized acting community. And kids know, we're like, we know what a real little person looks like, or midget looks like. We don't do this CGI. This is AI CGI, because I've seen CGI done. And I want to say, you know how, like with the animation, if you've ever seen the credits, every animated character has a design team to keep track of, like, how their facial movements should go, how they interact with other characters, how they're supposed to move. This, it just looks like they just dumped something in an AI generator to show their faces. There's nothing that makes them look individual, like say in the cartoon. Yeah, compare this one to the ones in the Hobbit. Yeah, granted, I didn't like the Hobbit movie.
No.
But they, they got the comparison down. Well, it's just this is freaking horrible. Oh my God, Doc did not. I
was whatever that to do with the ears there. There he is. Oh my gosh.
That one.
That just kill me now. This is just awful.
It looks like a Christmas elf.
Yeah, but like a nightmare one. Like, that's the Christmas elf that comes in and stalks you and steals you and it's like, "Hi, will you, come out with me for candy?" And he's got a black van in the backyard. I mean,
Oh no, it's like the grabber.
yeah. Look at that guy. He's a creeper. He's
Look,
ugh.
there's no emotion, in their eye.
They've got dead eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, doll's eyes, dead eyes.
Probably,
Looking right into your
I
soul.
saw the Krampus movie last night. I freaking love it.
Oh, that's probably an HR.
I mean, Dopey looks like Elf on a Shelf. Yeah. There's
Okay,
nothing.
that's actually a lot. Yeah, it does. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like that elf. Ugh.
I
Yeah, I'm
don't.
getting judgment for forgetting his name. I had a mind blank. It's allowed.
It happens. It happens.
And they have like the Abraham Lincoln style beards too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This oh God, I can't with this. I just saw Steve. What did he just say? It looks like someone who has photos of his neighbors in his bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, will dolls be released for these monsters? You know what?
Oh, no.
I
I'm
can't
not
see
buying those.
anybody buying these. I wouldn't buy them at all. And I think
For
they would
Halloween.
scare the kids.
Not even for Halloween.
Mm-mm. Which is a shame, because if any merchandise would sell at Disney, it would be the Snow White merchandise. But if you go with what Disney recently has been doing, like for example, The Acolyte, there was zero merchandise for that in the parks. Mufasa, the only merchandise that I've seen in the parks for Mufasa was a postcard that I got as an annual pass holder, and I had to show ID to get that lousy thing. There's zero promotion for it.
That says volumes. They have zero confidence in these things, which is just what's so wild. I don't know if it's a money laundering scheme. I really swear that it all has to be, because the amount of money that's being poured in and that's not coming in just doesn't add up.
No, I believe on that Park Place on Pro's channel, and Erica, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's about $500 million right now, and how much money with the
They're
reshoot.
estimating about 500 million. Yeah. It has to make $1 billion minimum for them to like profit at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tall order for a movie that's just an absolute shiza show.
Yep.
From the very beginning. And then the actress keeps wishing death on the populace.
God.
It's like, well,
She
that's
just
not gonna
can't shut up.
May you never know
Oh my
peace.
gosh, from wishing death on, the fan base, or over half of America, and then she goes and makes a political statement, against essentially her co-star, and oh my gosh, and it's just like,
It's like you
And
can't keep your freaking mouth shut, or at least know the art of tact, of having tact when you're talking to, the public. Like in case in point, like a comparison. Imran Vellani, I hope I said her name right. Granted, Miss Marvel, that show was not made for me, but it's actually okay for kids and young adults to watch. You've got a nuclear family. You've got actually a very conservative family. The mother was pretty much like my mom. What do you mean you're going to a convention? What kind of people are going to be there at this convention? You can't go there, by yourself. They had a loving family. I'm like, dang, you hardly ever, see that. But when people would ask her, how do you feel about fans being so toxic against, the MCU? And she said, point blank, perhaps we need to listen to the fans and I'm paraphrasing here, and produce stories that they would like. And I thought that was a very mature take coming from her.
Yeah.
Apparently, Rachel doesn't have that kind of filter or foresight. Because why are you going to purposely piss off close to 50% of your audience right off the bat?
Yeah.
She's just brainwashed to believe that people, the vast majority of people, think like her. And that's just not true. And she doesn't know how to be neutral when she speaks to not alienate anybody from her. If you want to make money, in the public eye, then, watch what you say.
Yeah. She was.
I mean, to me, that's just common sense, but golly.
Far much to success, far too young and far too unearned, and hanging around this Hollywood bubble. She has no sense of reality, as you've said. It's beautiful. I mean, if she still gets a starring role in the next big movie, we'll know she's got dirt on somebody.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
good point. That's a good point. I mean, I didn't think about that. Like, why is she being continuously put as like a front runner star in these movies? Yeah, it makes sense. Probably either that or she's I'm really not gonna do this to your stream, Lorena. Your channel could get shut down.
How would I put this? There's certain provisos, quid pro quos that happen in this business, and I know how Hollywood works and how they push certain people, and it's not always who has the talent, but who they want to push for whatever reasons.
Either
So,
she's
yes.
got dirt on someone or she's making her rounds, if you know what I mean.
I do
You
know
never
this
know.
much. Why do you think Kathleen Kennedy, as old as she is, I'm just making an observation, to survive that long in Hollywood, that chick knows where all the bodies are buried
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
and all of that.
Well, I've heard a theory that's from the Twilight Zone movie. Remember that disaster that happened on there, and that she has dirt on everyone on what happened with the Twilight Zone back in like 81. And
Yeah.
that's where it started, because there's a tragic accident with the helicopter. And then all of a sudden she's getting all these producing gigs. So she must know who was the mechanic behind that helicopter or something. And ever since then, she's Back to the Future. I mean, all these big movies that she's been producing overall.
Crazy blockbuster movies. You always see Kathleen Kennedy's name up there as a producer. And if you're wondering, folks, what a producer does, they're basically the money people.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be just the money people. So yeah, this is so Disney did it to themselves.
Yeah.
They've got this chick who is just sinking every single thing that she's in. And Stieg says, if beauty in this movie comes from the inside and Snow White is the only one more beautiful than the queen, that means the evil queen is the second nicest person in that world. I can live with that. Because I like Gal Gadot, but I'm like, yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about. But kids are going to be the ones that unfortunately get dragged to this piece of crap. They are really going to sink it in there, because kids are brutally honest to a fault. Like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this crap. It's not gonna work. But yet Disney expects for people to shell out their hard-earned money. And this is the other thing, because I know some people are like, well, you're just a Disney hater, and why do you go to the park so much if you hate Disney? It's not that I hate Disney. I'm just sick and tired of the gold standard that Disney used to hold themselves to is no longer there. And they
Oh
basically
no,
want you
that's
to
been
consume this
gone.
crap sandwich. Yeah, they just want you to just consume product, no matter how bad it is. Just
They've
keep
been
watching it.
slowly going down this path for years. And it's like once the pandemic hit, I don't know what it was that just all of a sudden they just went full throttle. And then the whole thing with the state of Florida, and it's just been bam, 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 so
Mhm.
aggressive. And I mean, gosh, you want to talk about just tanking your audience, just see ya. Like you're a luxury in life and not a necessity. We don't really need you. You need us more
No,
than we need you. And they don't seem
no.
and that.
Yeah. Well, I
And they're
think they had.
so oh, sorry, go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead,
no,
Chris.
they had such a monopoly on the magic. I think back in the day, and
Yeah.
partly because they were the gold standard, but they were also the only act in town. So when they just had that enormous success in the 90s, when the Little Mermaid revived things, and then Beauty and the Beast just blew the whole planet away. I mean, that Beauty and the Beast is still the most magnificent animated movie I think ever made. It was like they thought they were invincible, and they're not. No one's expendable.
You're absolutely right. It's like Disney believes that they're the only game in town and that no one can topple them. But we've seen what's happened, especially over this past 2 years. So if you see the likes of like Universal has been knocking it out of the park with their movies. Even this one movie that they didn't even really publicize that much about, Migration, which was an Illumination movie. That movie was so funny. It was so
Watched it like
funny.
3 times.
Oh my gosh. And
I love it.
it gets funnier every single time. It reminds
Yeah.
me of the type of family movie that Disney used to produce. It was so good. Aquafina wasn't annoying. If you can believe that.
It was just
She was
funny. It was the humor and it was perfect. I mean, I don't know. It was just like,
great. The little
it was like,
the little girl, she was like, I can't poop up here. I was like, no one's gonna see you. And they had to actually stop, like land, so she could poop. Stop
you do it. Yes, you can.
it was such a fun movie. So I saw it in the theater and then saw it when it came on streaming. But Migration, a wild robot, that one, which I haven't had a chance to see yet, just because I've been busy. I've heard good things about that. The Despicable Me franchise just prints money. And that's what Disney used to do. They used to print money. You used to know that you were safe, your family was safe, going to see their films, but they're losing. They've been losing. Once they pass, they've been losing that crown, and they know that they have. But to do something like it's going to be interesting seeing how far in the toilet and how the takes go with these latest Disney films. Mufasa, I don't know.
It might do well, especially with the little ones. And as soon as it goes to streaming, I think it'll be popular. I think Mufasa is brainless enough, if you know what I mean. Just I'm thinking of the toddler crowd, the types that would watch The Lion King if it's animated enough and cute enough. Maybe.
If it's 90 minutes where the kids will somewhat sit still, some of them might do it.
I don't think the animation's really going to keep the attention of kids. I mean, Frozen 2 didn't keep the attention of most kids.
Oh, this one is live action.
I'm sorry.
Oh, never mind. I just made a fool of myself. That shows you how much in touch I am with this stuff.
I mean, it's a CGI version. It's still animated. It's just not in 2D format, but I just don't see it as inviting as the original animated one with all the bright colors and
No,
the characters
it's not.
alive and excuse me, but animated. They're just not as animated in the CGI version. I'm not really seeing 5 to 10-year-olds captivated and being drawn into the movie. I think they're gonna get bored. Um, and then it's a
Yeah.
prequel too. It's not even just a rewrite of the original, which they did that, and apparently that one didn't do very well.
No, it was expressionless. Like it was soulless. And that's what a lot of
Mhm.
people that's what some people tried to tell Lee Daniels on Twitter. And he got real butthurt about that. It's like, look, the first one for live action, Lion King, that's like it was a soulless mess. Why would you want to direct a second one? It's kids can just watch Wild Kingdom instead. You've got animals, you know, talking, but it's not, it's just not the same. Not the same at all. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
She just needs to just stop freaking talking. But she's not going to stop talking because unfortunately, or I won't say unfortunately, it's sad because Hollywood will basically eat you and then spit you out and then move on to the next
Mhm.
one. So it's not very healthy to have this bubble of people telling you everything that you want to hear, which is that bubble. And it's very hard to get out of that into reality. And especially when people are telling you, you're great, you're wonderful, don't worry about these people or whatever. Nah. So hopefully, because you guys saw
Mhm.
that non-apology, right? Or did you?
Oh gosh.
Oh, that was stupid. That was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Everybody
Yeah.
knew she didn't write that. There's no way.
Mm-mm.
She's opened her mouth so much. We all know what she really thinks and feels. She's like a repeat offender. She can't help herself.
Nope.
It's
She's got
different
to.
when you say something once, and then you're like, okay, that was really stupid of me. I shouldn't have said that. And then you don't do it again. You actually learned a real lesson.
Mm-hmm.
She can't seem to do that. So no one's convinced she's actually really sorry for anything she's ever said.
Right. Well said, Erica. Thank you, Disney James USA 78. I love your channel. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I want to bring up this last comment, mainly because I don't really like musicals. You guys know, unless somebody dies. And one of my favorite musicals when somebody dies is Phantom of the Opera. So I like this comparison. Rachel Zegler is nothing more than a walking, talking, real life representation of Carlotta from the Phantom of the Opera.
Prima donna.
Yes, the whole world revolves around me and only me. So,
And secretly, everybody hates you. Because trust me,
yes.
all those Hollywood people, this little upstart who came out of nowhere, this little kid sitting there acting like she's the queen of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust me, there's tons more where you came from. Literally, all you gotta need to do is just roll down to one of those restaurants in LA. Chances are there's an actress that is full of talent, but she did not get the chance that Rachel Zegler did. So we're going to continue to keep watching this train wreck because it is not going to end well. And Disney has it coming. Totally has it coming to them. First of all, we want to wrap up the stream and thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and supporting the Spice Lounge. Want to thank Views with Hughes for dropping by. Want to thank Erica for being here and thank our special guest, Teresa, Ms. Martin Muses, for being on the channel, my dear. Teresa, what do you have coming up and where can people find you?
Well, people can find me here on YouTube. I have some live streams coming up. One of them is the secret to being happy forever. So if you've ever wondered, yes, I finally have the answer. So I'm going to be streaming about that, some of my musings, as well as some Harry Potter news, Tolkien's upcoming, and maybe even some of the Lion Witch and the Wardrobe. I might have to dig a little deeper into what they're doing over there now that we've got rock and roll waiting for us. So,
rock and roll, dude.
Yeah,
rock and roll. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Teresa, I think she muted herself.
Hello. Oh, yeah.
I
There
was
she goes.
so tense. I muted myself. I got so excited. But yeah, I was just saying, it's just so wrong on every single level. And we've got dancing lions and everything. So, of course, that's something to keep in mind. Also, I like to talk about books. So I'm going to be doing my book reviews for all the books that I read in 2024. So if that's the kind of thing you like, go ahead and give me a like, share, and a subscribe early and often. I'd love to see you there.
Okay. Well, first of all, I love the fact that you have a rose with a Santa hat on. That is so festive. So festive. And
Cute.
folks, you gotta subscribe to Teresa's channel. She has such great topics. Sometimes I don't always talk. I'll drop in and listen, and it's just she's just awesome. So make sure you subscribe to her. Erica, what do you have going on? You're welcome. What you got going on, and where can people find you, my dear?
Oh, status is still the same. But I am going to finish that Fantasia Land video finally and get it out tomorrow and start getting these videos that are in the pipeline out. Raph was sick off and on for 2 weeks. It's been really a odd, really weird last 2 weeks with him, but hopefully we're getting back on track since it looks like he's getting better. And yeah, I mean, we're just at Erica-Raff. I have other videos if you haven't checked us out on our Wine Fest and Halloween. I know it's kind of out of season. And I do have one Christmas video up of what Christmas decorations look like out here in Germany. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh my gosh, yes, I saw those decorations, and I'm like, man.
I just finished house tonight, so I got to do a video of the house, the Christmas decorations, and get it out. I got like 3 trees downstairs.
The Christmas decorations in Europe.
Christmas trees in my house.
4. Oh my gosh, I need to get on your level. I just have one. Finally, my 7.5 foot tree, and I've got a 6 foot flat tree, which I may put out on my patio. I'm trying to decide.
And I got more decorations coming tomorrow from Amazon, so I'll still be adding more decorations to the trees.
Okay, I don't feel bad because I've been hitting between the thrift stores like Goodwill. I have to elbow people to try to get the vintage ornaments. So I've got them there. I've got some from Michael's. I've got some from Dollar Tree, and I'm just like, I need to go and get some. I need to go and get some more on the cheap. The Christmas decoration
9 out of 10.
in Europe. That Stig, he's such a blast. He's awesome. He's awesome. Well, as for your girl, go ahead, my dear.
I wanted to do one quick little plug-in. That website I told you guys about in the chat here. I forgot the name of it. It's called.
Oh, I have it. Hold on 1 second. Let me share it so folks can see.
If anyone's interested in ordering German, if you want to order German, they got all kinds of things from snacks, some of the foods. I think you can even get sausages. I mean, like actual grocery items, and they're in the States and they import everything. I just learned about the German YouTube channel that I follow, and this is great because I'm actually going to use this site to shop and just send stuff to my family. I don't have to actually go out in the 30-degree weather, which the high today was like, what, 38?
Oh no, I
The
can't. I
site,
can't.
order stuff, have it sent straight to their doors. Because I usually do German like care packages for my nieces and nephews and my sisters.
I'm
So
sorry.
if
I'm
you're
looking. I'm like
serious or if you've
Marzipan.
been to Europe and you want to get some of the stuff, yeah, they have a little Glühwein glass there. It doesn't say price
Yes,
for
I remember this one. Oh my gosh, I remember this one, and I'm mad I didn't buy one. I bought ornaments instead,
now
but
you
I
can.
remember this. Yeah.
But
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'm gonna order from this site. The name of the channel is Feli from Germany, Feli, and she's from Munich, but she's been living in Ohio, and
Oh.
she's got great content. We love watching her. And then she just put this website out a few days ago on a recent video, and I'm like, that's gonna save me a lot of driving in this
Oh
cold
my
weather, and,
gosh.
if anyone else wants
Yes.
German items, go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is a. Oh my gosh, this is.
I know I haven't even looked to the site yet. I just haven't had time, but tomorrow I'll probably sit there and dig through it and start ordering stuff and sending things to family.
I'm looking at the nutcrackers because I'm like obsessed with collecting like nutcrackers. I just
Nutcrackers? I didn't know that, really?
yeah. Because for a while I took like ballet,
Ballet?
but I got
Okay, that
into it
makes sense.
because I saw, oh my gosh, the Nutcracker Ballet at the Philadelphia Academy of Music. It was beautiful, and I loved the performances, and I loved the music, and ever since then, I was just like, I'm like obsessed with collecting nutcrackers. Well, I have beach nutcrackers now. You're like literally I have them. They have, the nutcrackers, and they have like seashells and stuff that's on them. But yeah, I collect nutcrackers, Black Santa, and Beach Santa. That's what
Beach.
I love Beach
I want to
Santa.
see that.
Yeah.
I wanna see your
Oh,
Beach
that is
Santa.
huge. That is huge down here. What? Because actually Tom F. He and his
Oh
wife.
god.
So yes. So I get Sunshine Santa. I've got Santa that's got
Does he
like
have socks on,
yeah.
or is that sun lotion?
No socks. He's got bare feet. He's got bare feet, but
Oh, it looked like he had socks on or like sun lotion on his feet. Like
ours down here, we have like Santa, like a sleigh being pulled by seahorses or flamingos with Santa hats on, or like my favorite at Gatorland, Santa's on an airboat being pulled by alligators. So it's interesting down here to say the least, the kind of Christmas decorations and stuff that we have here. Professor X needs catnip for Christmas. He gets catnip all the darn time. He's an addict. He's under my desk right now. He just had a very, very filling dinner. Now he doesn't want to hear anything. Lorena, now you tell me. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Good to see all of you guys. But as for myself, let's see. Wednesday, I will actually be on Pops's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be hanging out over on his channel. So I haven't been on his channel before, but I have seen him in my chat and others' chats. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's going to be on his channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. On Friday, I believe at 7:30, I'm going to be out at SeaWorld, and I'm so excited. SeaWorld is so decked out for Christmas. I have not been to SeaWorld really since I was a kid. I went a couple of months ago Tom Evan and his wife graciously got me into the park, and I'm just like, I freaking love this park. So if you want to see a real replica of Sesame Street, they've got it. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Penguins. Go see the penguins.
It's nice.
Yes.
I
See the
love the
penguins?
penguins. That's my favorite thing. I love the penguinos.
They're so cute. They're up there. They're all squawking and swimming and doing stuff. I didn't get to see the beluga whales. They didn't come out. But I did see, the manta rays, and you can feed the manta rays, and they come down, they take the fish from you. And seeing the one show where there's a walrus that will actually pose with people. I was like, oh, that's it was so cool. And again, just like I've been to Sesame Place in Langhorne, but I guess they got folded in with SeaWorld, so they have a replica of Sesame Street that's there. Like literally, you step there and it's just like, where's Oscar? Where's his trash can? They even have a Hooper store. Oh my gosh. It is, but that's where I will be on Friday. And then on Saturday, I guess some folks are knowing this right now, I will actually be at Gatorland in the morning, which means that Resort Recon Live is actually going to be pushed back to like 2 p.m. instead, because I'll be at Gatorland in the morning for the Ho-Ho Holiday Hoedown. Christmas Florida style. There's nothing like it in the world, including melting snowmen and Krampus walking around, and Jack Frost. He's here on vacation.
Where's that at again?
Gatorland.
Oh, at Gatorland. Okay.
Yeah, Gatorland. Yeah, so I love the Gatorland Park. It's fun, and an insane amount of Europeans come to visit Gatorland.
Of course.
We have to see this insanity in person.
Exactly. Oh God. Wow, it's real. It's all real. All of
It's all real. Yeah, it is. It is. I love it. Well, you folks, thank you so much for supporting the Spice Lounge. Thank you so very much for being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to my amazing people here on the panel. You all have a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you are. Stay blessed, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Let's tidy things up.
Autobots, start your engines!
Not under the rug.
We'll keep singing without fail, otherwise we'd spoil it.
Ready, Prime. Let's roll.
Hosing down the garbage pail and scrubbing up the toilet. Ooh.
That's all, folks.
You're still here. It's over.